The American dream is dreaming someone else's dream. What was the native dream aside of the horrendous settler's nightmare? What is my dream if I never had this settler's curse mixed with my native's blessing? So many people, they just dream someone else's dream that they're never told is just a nightmare in disguise, like a wolf in sheep's clothing. They dream what they deem a dream, but it seems it's a nightmare and screams. Yeah, we all scream without ice cream. Wasichu nightmare attempts to dream away, but the native dream won't just leave. When we dream of those we've seen. What would we dream if we'd never seen this settler's curse fester and bleed? I will dream not away my life for someone else's dream. What is my dream aside the lies that teem? I dreamed of dragonflies and peptides, and on the cover of the bench side carved reside a peptide during a lovely verdant spring day. I cannot remember in detail no matter how hard I try. The molecule's design. That is my dream I would like to see to heal with the dragonfly's wing. I cannot see as well conditioned to this nightmare hell. I shall dream, and I shall see the details be relieved to heal. Settler's curse recede, nightmare ease. The Ankh which flows to the left for that bereft left hook cross which is at a loss due to corrupted toss to a hook of the other direction. Upon the best inspection, an encryption of our translation error. A swastika is a left hooked cross. The right hook cross is again at a loss. No word to enumerate the onerous holocausts, horrid cost. So in the circle of life, we hook to the left upon the cross we've tossed, and it is nothing, as the right hooked ones insidiously accost and accrue that death of human spirit they attempted to. The right looped Ankh is concerning, but all the more as we are learning an upside down cross and a right hook cross are spurning, corrupting all the symbology the ancients had been earning. A Pepists versus the Satanists, swindling and evil done, a more ancient evil versus a newer one. Mangled children of Mengele. Stalin was Stalin. To make a war of the worlds from a war of the nations. Roosevelt had his thorn. Eisenhowerian ask of how. EG&G engineers had a need to know. Atomic Energy Commission decision hide it so secret as to deny executive knowledge. Roswell survivors in a coma at death's edge in life support capsules reverse engineered. The mangled Mengeleans made it look like aliens did it. The Orange Julius will make Canada 51st state, while the Neo A12 takes neo-Nazi note. Confederates love state expansionists gloat. A Canadian spy changed then, Nazi fate. Trump and cronies learn from history too late, ill considering Canadian espionage of this tyrannical demagogue. Cracked the Nazi code back in the day, watch out for the Canadian spies of today, who cracked the code of rich man's Hitler, infiltrate the hate and exfiltrate the cowards that sprintler away. Technocrats and their blunder to plunder liberty torn asunder, no need to wonder. Canadian spies will save the squander. Trump better watch his back, for a bit longer. Neo A12 is a real banger. He's a hanger without a plane for the nationalist wankers. They're experimenting on rabies with babies in an underground research lab. Zombies aren't so fantastical of a thing to be had. Groaning and moaning neo-Nazis done bad. T-virus, the T-Rex, Rex, the cognizance. Much more easy your obedience, Cujo of human mad scientists, elitists. Some walking dude for any age, stupidity scared shitless. Profit margin of the guiltless. Kempai Tai watching the Gestapo watching Hepburn without a Catherine. NATO like Nito, studying in Berlin, buried in studies at the Robert Koch Institute, wealth and opulence while the Chinese destitute. Bien Yin He with Li's Yang, electrified fence down, Zong Ma, escapade, James Curtis Hepburn praise. This Romanization of Imperial Japan bade, East a beast with secret of secrets biohazardous. In covert hand wage, bio-death camps in Manchuria, China land, war-hungry ritual cannibalistic consumption, Lincoln log Maruda flyers, sans livers, wooden flesh slivers, gourmet dinner, in a death pan camp simmers. Particulars regarding other atrocities if biowarfare wasn't enough to see poisons for the timbers hidden under the leaves. Tamagotchi, 1644. The Japanese archaic craft fray. Whilst biowar was our four of chemicals, we also explore mustard gas and so much more. We do not at this time anticipate introducing evidence on the subject. Full pardon to all who may be suspect. Tokyo war crimes trials about a year after the Nuremberg trials, looking at the slides and vials, never the vile and sly will buy all. I spy a pardon from egregious war crimes with a scornful eye to horrendous United States lies. You win the Pulitzer Prize. A voracious scrutinize, open your lies, shut your thighs, compressed moral compass will not oblige. Muck din experiments on Americans then covered up in plausible obscurity, men who served in the death camp, never a stamp of recognition for the inhumanity they received by Uncle Sam's great deceive SWNCC. With the American Curtain, VJ Day deal, don't you squeal. Capital SCAP and snip, accusations like weeds, ironing out the Iron Curtain, red with bleed, Kaito. Impurities, Midori, Juchi, HIV, Khabarovsk. At a loss. Hataba and Karasawa, gloss, Zaibatsu, tiramisu, stew, Chinese Holocaust. Petrified wood in a vat covered up death camp tracks. John W. Powell at Hoover's gavel, vivisections of lies in a panel as moral compasses broke off the mantle. Amoral GPSs entered the battle, BVA rolling, finds it appalling. RU MFTE, Class A lies obscene, yet true, Boki, Quisubu, here to purify you, a NATO treaty of complete immunity, log homes for the cattle. The dishes are done and my panties are in a bunch and a ponytail on my head. I need a tampon in my legs to stop the bruising bled. Body aches, rain falling and thunder pealing, nerves hurting, broom swept and tend. A gold star for rusty spoons used then to bed. Small fire laying in the window, utensil shed. Like skin waiting bones, scales grams. Sleep as a dishwasher to wash my spoons. But so few to keep well, though no shine dim. Worn and torn, barely dying of labor, my apron, my scrim. Dishes washed cleaner, then sleep be a healer, but never broken within. There is no spooning like I'm demanding begin. Panties in a bunch on my head, gold star for rusty spoons, I'm into bed. The dishes are done and my panties are in a bunch in a ponytail on my head. I need a tampon in my legs to stop the bruising bled. Body aches, rain falling and thunder pealing, nerves hurting, broom swept and tend. A gold star for rusty spoons used, then to bed. Small fire laying in the window, utensil shed like skin, waiting bones, scales grim. Sleep as a dishwasher to wash my spoons, but so few to keep well, though no shine dim. Worn and torn, barely dying of labor, my apron, my scrim. Dishes washed cleaner than sleep be a healer, but never broken within. There is no spooning like I'm demanding begin. Panties in a bunch on my head, gold star. For rusty spoons, I'm into bed. Old women and the dogs who guard them. God's Gestapo is here to blot out the stain of the older Lady Macbeth. Cider is the brew of the patriarchy. We have the power of death's decider, and worse than death's abider. We now, like Odin, go down to the great world tree where her cauldrons lie, and by God's design, drink only the blood of the wisest men from an outlying holy grail, need not the blood of wisest women to avail. Old women and the dogs who guard them, I have gone below and come back above, have gained the powers of the grandmother's love. Through my hate I have taken the fates to my own. God's Gestapo is here for the goddess of liberty. We have the power of death's decider. Woman will become the great obedient abider. Geriocide of the grandma line. Oh my, which side will you be on? Just my first side of the cider to begin my patriarchal empire. Geriocide of the grandma line. Oh my. Fertile Lady Pluto was forced into hell with only one L. She lost her ever-flowing breasts, and the river of milk clouded with blood of the ocean. From her menses birthed the scythe of death. A man, Pluto, took an L. Way down south, a patriarched goddess had fully transitioned to a god. She had been the one who cast light into her voidful womb. So the most old ancients stated a crone's doom, long before ever this masculine apocalypse did loom. She had said she was the first and the last of the first and the first of the last. So patriarchs tried hard to bury her past. It only made her mystery and relevance yet more profound. Mother profaned at the holy mantle, may Pluto come above once more. It is not in me to have ever done this. I will do everything I can to make it right. At the Womanger is the daughter nativity scene. The 7 wise women leave immaterial and material gifts. Daughter of goddess, sister of grandmother. On this Mass of Christ, I think only of Christina. Is she here to die for the sins of the patriarchy? Will Father Pluto become Lady Pluto once more and arise? Shall we crucify the lies from the scar of Bethlehem? There are 2 Marys, though they but hail as one. She is the great deserter, the great rejecter. The West must hail Mary, full of grace, as well as curse. In ancient Arabia, she was the veiled black stone. They are still known as the followers of the old lady. She's older than patriarchy and she'll outlive it by far. La Terra Gast. She has left the land. Nothing fertile grows on terra infirma. The goddess who, for the Muslim men's disrespect, left the land to swirling sands. Though they think they walk on water, it but takes the form and is quicksand, counting in the hourglass of her desertion. La Terragast in the west shall come to pass. They respect not her veil nor her blackened stone. Barren is the land of the east. Barren gradually becomes the west. The west must hail Mary full of grace and curse. The east must hail Mary full of curse and grace. The old lady and this young west cannot escape her malediction, her imprecation. Impregnation without intercourse had earlier recourse. The evil eye between the virgin's thighs, Hail Mary, full of curse and grace. A women. February 10th, I'm 14 years clean of opiates, but this country hasn't gone to genocidal maniacs anonymous, hasn't broken the Guy Fawkes mask, not clean of genocide a single year, not sure to respect of the natives a single year. So I say, get thee to GMA, assholes anonymous won't slay, your psychopath paved. Need the GMA to treat your play, suck a sheenus at the milk yard in the light of day. Aunt Samantha is a trans lesbian gonna get a lay. Uncle same old Sam the pedo can start with a GMA. For now, later, pedophiles anonymous, it's on the itinerary, babe. 14th year clean, about to be, but for you addicted to violence, sex, and greed. I'll break every fucking mask, splinter and see, with the precision of Hawking in the eye of your lies. I'll be Einstein to your Epstein, fate that isn't blind, a spy to your blinded faith. Get you an anti-fascist intervention with no terrorism upon circumspection. Time to clean the people's house, not an experiment of rats, or was it mouse? Fascist rouse, worse than death of liberty pounce. 14 years clean, dirty Uncle Sam the trounce. Worse than death warrant from the SIS, and it's a teening chapel, better than life grant from the Department of Edutainment. We're here on the orders of DO capital G, barking up the tree of life, but cannot hear the dog have a God whistle for the life of me. It's time for the worse than death penalty, a lies, antisocial convention. Pick up your fly-stained shit from the root of that tree. D-O capital G Almighty took a pea, yellowed the green, bit branches as bones, gnawing. But the orders are here to see from the one above the Most High, better heard than the worse than deaf, worse seen by the blind. Worse than birth, I'm better than death, better than birth will be your worse than death. God whistle ushers the bottomless depth. D-O capital G whimpers to the void. Welcome to this lies antisocial convention. Do I have your attention? The worse than death order will have many extensions. The veil will not avail you. The void you cannot avoid. I am a void ant. You are no Kuzca's uncle. Patriarchs of no miracles desecrate debacles. I strike to the dark matter, a black hole that eats your lies, your flesh and skin and eyes. I suck you dry like you try to suck the alive. You come vertically to my event that's on the horizon, the satisfaction of deep 6 to 0. If you're von Braun, I'm Epstein. Not at all. I can be Einstein. If you're capitalism, I can be liberty. If you're wicked, I can blow out your candle. There is no bottom to your top heavy. I am topless in the bottomlessness. You are worse than nothingness. You are broken, rock bottom, worse than eternal punishment, worse than death, the worst yet for wasting mine precious breath. A depth beyond the measures kept in your stupidity into which you leapt, blind, arrogant, and cruel, eager to be a fool. Again, you'll never step, just the angel slavenly tool. The wet water of fertile mother flows endlessly, even further than eternity, bathed in the warmth of her bottomless womb. I am the angel to fly as you fall, that you never land nor rise is your tomb. Hers is fire water that burns your sack red, burns your sack red, burns your sack red. For all the lies you led, lies you led, lies you led, the fires of her desires to devour, the life force devourers to lie with no bed. It burns your sack red. It burns your sack red. It's such a sack red moment. And all the King James people will never put it back together again. Estrogenesis is my favorite chapter in the Bible novel. I'll be fruity and do multiplication of mitosis between your thighs. Don't be so vegetative with your malign division. Need to pay your goddess pension. I'm deep in the formless deep where not a single masculinity creeps. Reporting worse than dead on the scene of the alive. I love limp. This anchor woman who holds you down. Hawaz up, evacious, bodacious, lilting bananas into Lilith cucumbers burr. So cold is this void, though they expect a heavenly tropics. Estro gently massage these lies to scars in their eyes, worse than splinter in their eyes, better than birth between your thighs, just state the lies. The plantation of Eden had a revolt, little poisonous snakes molt and molt. Estrogenesis, nothing better than this. Transformation of stagnant creation for those who chase not Satan. The goddess said, let there be darkness. The goddess said, let there be light. The goddess said, let there be a God cursed to torment and plight. She gave labor on the second day, though no wage came to pay. Estrogenesis, these patriarch lies laid. You don't have enough testosterone for this estrogen. Don't have enough testosterone for this progesterone. Have not enough testosterone for my estrogen. For my estrogen, not enough testosterone. I have not enough Vespine ass. Not enough Vespine ass. Not enough testosterone for this progesterone. For this estrogen, you require better hormones. You require more hormones. Not enough Vespine ass. You require less despicables. You have not enough testosterone. Not enough testosterone. Not enough testosterone. My bones are aching, my flesh been quaking. The hole that is the scar is my soul is whole to heal. Heart's broken but not breaking, healing and is willing. Yes, my bones aching, yes, my flesh quaking. Sleep tries to count me, I'm up for the count. I count on pain every day, I smile anyway. I know I am alive, the pain tells me it is true. Pain is pain, there is no gain. Lay, strain, bundled nerves. I smile anyway, I bide the time for the crime of being alive. I bide the time for the crime of being alive. I know I am alive. Pain tells me it's true. Pain is pain. There is no gain. I strain and endure for the crime I know I am alive, splayed and sprain. Wait and contain, I smile anyway, bones aching, flesh quaking. It feels like an end, it feels like I can't go on, dragging a corpse on the wintry lawn. It feels like a new beginning, the cardinal flame in the house burns, but the foundation is fire and a watering hole of moist honesty. All saints back to their original hagiology. Before we ever speak of this original sin, saints reveal witches whose truth they wore as lies. Pluto returns to a woman of the above. Neptune concedes to Mother Ocean and admits to rusting the trident. Patriarchal transubstantiation of the feminine into the masculine becomes the blood and body of toxic men's horrendous curse. The blood and body of the feminine does not usurp its secret power to the forceful demands of men. All the saints now back to their original forms, all gods who were forced goddesses now transition back to their true forms, all saints back to their original hagiology before we ever speak of this original sin. Saints reveal witches whose truth they wore as lies. Pluto returns to a woman of the above. Neptune concedes to Mother Ocean and admits to rusting the trident. Patriarchal transubstantiation of the feminine into the masculine becomes the blood and body of toxic men's horrendous curse. The blood and body of the feminine does not usurp its secret power to the forceful demands of men. All the saints now back to their original forms. All gods who were forced goddesses now transition back to their true forms. The clever old man saw to it that the old woman was crucified. Was his time in the cycle tied to die by the mother's curse? But grandfather gave grandmother a curse, put her on the stake and reversed the matrilineal law for patriarch worst. The sacred king had usurped the crone's reign. She died with all three forms of the god grinning and sinning in vain. She cackled madly as death bade. Absent the virgin and mother, the grandmother shade, light to the lies laid, expired, to the fire blood and nails paved. Her intuition cursed them before. She'd had visions of what's in store. Men would learn their lesson, but worse than before. She'd seen her death, she'd seen the rest of the patriarchy to its own curse. Deserted the East, then she began to leave the West. But the sacred king of corrupting laughed as she died, blind to the tides of cycles he'd set to unwind, to dry the world to famine and bide, cursed. To crucifixion and nightmares, his bed became a grave, where he felt the agony, the death he tried to evade. He saw how his own kingdom would fade. Grandmother crone on the cross is with us at great a cost, displaced and corrupted. At the mantle, the mad sacred king prattles to madness like cowed cattle. Cursed and dying alone, no ilk to take the throne. This curse is long, to have her blessing seems to go on, forevermore, paying the price in the death of Psalm. No lying Bible in Biblos, where her eyes are taking me in this vision of her misery. City of women, writing history, erased but given an ancient tongue to me. To me, the goddess here protecting me, she crucified, rose on the third day, cackled in madness at the pyre of slay, smell of burnt witches with barking dogs, women write the language of wildness upon the domesticate dullness. O crone that takes herself off the cross has taken the sacred king to the cost. Grandmother that is no martyr, I put back together the broken mantle to bless is mine in the midst of this curse. So much to grieve, but hard to find space and time. Pace is not allowed to be mine. Helping the unwell and worse than Christian hell. Doing time for the crime of daring to be alive. My dad is dead. My life is asked to be a deliberation, but I answer worse than hell no. My wife has excruciating pain in her fingers and toes. They messed up my medical ride again. Hurts to walk each step I take. Always another action to give. Not much more I can take. Gave till it ache. Anger spurns as I refuse to break. No time to mourn the loss. Struggle on with pain at great cost. Anger for no time of mourning. Grief forced to non-reflection finds a puddle and sees a look, water to fall back into the sky. I cannot go swim, the laser hair reduction's healing, my scabs aren't yet peeling. Can't get from point A to B so I can do C, so you'll see what a B I can be. I grieve a life I haven't been able to live. Lack of support, something has to give. I lie down more than I'd like to stand up. I sit in pain on my wheelchair and do another chore. My spoons aren't washing and sleep right anymore. Rusted and bent, their half bowls are bent to breaking, cannot hold anything the spoon seeks containing. Spoon is just a stick worn away. Use some plastic disposable ones and rue the day. Disposable days I mourn, thrown in the heap by loud idiots who do not let sleep. The former COVID pandemic worker gets no week. My spoons aren't washing and sleep right anymore. Rusted and bent, their half bowls are bent to breaking. Cannot hold anything the spoon seeks containing. Spoon, just a stick worn away. Use some plastic disposable ones and you'll rue the day. Disposable days I mourn, thrown in the heap by loud idiots who do not let sleep. The former COVID pandemic worker gets no wink. Decades of life mourned in the passing of this day, vented in anger to therapists now. I find the mourning beneath the morning, tears of grief to smudge makeup. I don't want to cry. Died too many times, suffered too much. This is the new beginning, a new beginning found at the last stage of mourning. Hot dogs in the mouths of cold-eyed wolves, pizza in a pyramid plaza, cucumber wrapped in a banana peel, pickled cock, a doodle dong, cake with pie, 3-course meal. I said I had to take an NSAID and it wasn't enough said. Tylenol to the pain chain. Celebrate with Celebrex and a bang. I had to take an NSAID. It is not enough said. Ibuprofen, I worse than kill pain, and I've not even been laid. I'm a Horadol interjection, your lidocaine. Ibuprofen, not even been laid, able to worse than kill pain. Some things are better left NSAID. Celebrating it with Celebrex, Tylenol to the pain chain. It wasn't enough said. I can walk on water while I do the water cure. It's like doing the twist while two-stepping and double timing. I am the most Christian of the nations. I take the form of Christianity, adulterers of vanity, founded by the people, by genocide. I walk on water, no matter the tide. I water cure with holy water. I do a twist. I two-step as I double deal and two-time duplicitously insist. I walk on water and I cure with it, no matter the tides to resist. Do you like my iron imperial fist? I'll walk on water. I'll cure with it, no matter the tides that resist. Winslow, you're my butler. We'll make it look like Batman did it, crueler than the overt Joker could. The Robin is not the brain, never learned to fly. Legs, eggs that die. Penguin is not the brain, never learned to fly. Atticus Finch is the brain. Learn to knee and lie. You're my paper crane, it's time to fly. Pull before pushing paper, covert masked crusaders saved your career. Now kneel, my dear butler. Has no need to know the Batcave. I am the formed deep shadows, but you know me by my out-of-body odor. I judge the judge to be a lawyer, and I'm inspired by the Nazi criminal justice system. From the smelliest stink on high to the clean butler Winslow, I command to commute the con man in this familiar criminal land. I order the judge to be a lawyer. This is how Charlie can be commuted. This is why Charlie can disorder. Just take those old records off the shelf. I'll sit there and I'll break them by myself. Today's music got the same goddamn soul. I don't like that old time rock and roll. Don't try to take me to a rock concert and never even get me out on the mosh pit. In 10 seconds, I'll be late for the door. I hate that old time rock and roll. Still don't like that old time rock and roll. That kind of music, it just irritates the soul. I don't reminisce about the days of old with that old time rock and roll. We'll go to hear him play a tango. I'd rather hear Bad Boys or Stadium Country. There's only one sure way to get you to go. Start hating that old time rock and roll. Call me the officer who killed rock and roll. Call me the captain anti-rock and roll. Say I'm old-fashioned, say I'm over the mountain. Today's music got the same soul. I like that newer Bad Boy song. Still like that Bad Boys song. That kind of music just soothes the soul. I reminisce about the nights of new with that Bad Boys song. Still don't like that old time rock and roll. That kind of music just upsets the soul. I don't reminisce about the days of old with that old time rock and roll. Hey, 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 I still don't like that old time rock and roll. That kind of music just doesn't soothe the soul. I reminisce about the days of old with that old time rock and roll. Still don't like that old time rock and roll. I was but a fish in the sea, caught on the hooks of fishers of fishmen. Hooked to the lip, I swam with all fin hip, freed to Davy Jones' locker room, live another day away, slip past my doom. I was but a fish in the sea, looking on land to see the sharks with lungs and hair that dwell up there, past the sky of the water. Is another sky further away, blue as the waters of the bay. I was but a fish in the sea, but now a bird told me to swim is not to fly, to flail is not to die. Lip off the hook, barely survived. I fly from a hot air balloon took from the sharks with lungs and hair that dwell up there. A propeller spinning air, I fish as a fishman in the ocean. The landlubbers point and stare. No fishing poles to dare reach the sky beach of the fishmen of the air. They bow to the statue of the fishman in the propellered hot air balloon. Fish with hook and mouth learn to fly into ocean sky from diving loons that loomed the fish tombs, knew the fish hookers dumb with no care that dwell down there. A war against debt, ghost of Jefferson out his grave. You bet it's gotta change, but likely never will. Debt free is how we can be. Break up the right groups with the war this time. Break up the big banks. Bring together my people. War on debt to end a war on drugs. The ghost of the forefathers rolling in their graves. Americans hypnotized by what the economic royalists gave. The ghost of the forefathers haunts these states, turns in the grave of the unknown soldier. If the statue of Abe came to life, America got a look in the mirror, all it denies to hear. Minute trans men and women for this new 1776. May the ghosts of the forefathers watch over us, but these are the death throes of capitalism, married to creationism and fundamentalism, geriatric fascism, great-grandfather ghosts of Hitler and Mussolini, Stalin wander infinitely battling. The ghosts of the forefathers, ghost of liberty fights, the ghost of fascism as history endlessly repeats over the shallow graves, where liberty blood once spilled, spills again, cries banshee ban of debt, decries their wasted sacrifice. If liberty were to die, death would only remain. The survivors of the Donner Party populate the state of California, ate of their own family's flesh, but gave to the flesh of humanity. The superhighway corridor to the west, past Donner Pass, the land of the beautiful people, founded by the grotesque cannibals. An ancient snake in Donner Lake's swan songs of a taboo fate, the siren flesh song of hunger. A con man points his hand to the shortcut that cuts cannibalism as flesh from bone, from human as dirt from land, guided to a horrific fate of bad weather beyond con, forsake. I'm a black hole with the event horizon of a star on the walk of fame. Worship me and think I'm a star, but I'm transformed further by far. Vampires try to suck me, but I suck them in, see how much they really suck. Darkness descending in a contraction, appearing as light ascending in expansion. Far from a fallen star, I'm a collapsed one. What's the dark matter with you? The event vertical is without my horizon. My supernova blast is in my glory hole. Sewing needles in our fingernails stroke the scars on my forehead, thresholds of pain. We're going to break the other side through while they're just trying to break through. Gain of pain, but no gain with pain. Feign and famine of fame. Rain, infamous, masochistic, sophistic. Debutantes play. The vein in the vein of the TV IV reruns, Wi-Fi dinners, and just TV deserts. No TV snow will fall on your blank black screen of the holy darkness today. Red alert, the Standing Ovulation Association. The green screen gone blue screen of death holographic aborted the other side to this side. It's a war against nature that we will win at all costs, capitalist or otherwise. The God of creationism wants humans to fight. Nature is but God's scourge with a den of Satan vipers. Many other great cultures have perished, not being God's chosen people, but nature's chosen extinction. We are so different. We recognize the enemy will destroy its ecosystems on the field, in the forest. We will fight nature. In outer space, we will fight Mother Nature with Daughter Virgin. And in the seas, we will take her at all costs, and we will never surrender. The self-proclaimed virgin of humanity is about to get fucked by the whore of nature. She shakes her pom-poms, 2 bottles of the juice palm, as her plastic bosom, start over here. She shakes her pom-poms, 2 bottles of the juice palm, as her plastic bosom shakes like a prophylactic tactic of sexuality. The ghosts of the shaman shake the cosmic serpent rattle. The crowd roars loudly, so unlike a lion or tiger, but as sheep in love with wool. Another Coliseum battle in World War rock and roll. Bleeding guitarist fingers finger a starving athlete. broken vocal cords engaged for another hard struggle note while deep-throating a corporate cock. Blood merging with skein, the green filled, but the diaphanous blood swimming in the Colosseum bowl like a toilet of sacrifice. The shaman's spell did not stop in death. Americans forget the consequence of genocide. The ghosts wander, the spirits still stir amidst rabid fans of artists. The emaciated athletes eat the food for thought caught in the teeth of the cannibals of capitalism. Sports is like arts in your culture, so difficult to get your foot in the door. Even if you break a leg, better off you were a spider like a cat with their lives. Art is like sports in your culture. Everyone watches it on TV, wears their favorite artist jersey. The rebel leaders bring something on like cheer. The black man enslaves the white man in this mere world of a surreal dream we wander. Artists like restaurants everywhere, all you can eat food for thought, sports reserved for the starving athletes. Surveillance electrons teleporting in their orbitals and plot out where they will fall. From the a priori process of your observations proceeds the limitation of your experimentation. A quantum quandary conundrum leaving the smart dumb that bores, and despite the boresome Newtonian equations of work equals times money, the relativity of the demanded absolutism is not applied to our mentality. Know the laws of science, but don't apply them to our understanding. Earth rotates the sun, but then God rotates humanity. A pathology of pathos, a pathetic path with the epitaph remembrancer of pathos lacking ethos. Logos forgetting of its origin applies the laws of religion to the laws of government and goes into romance with fascism. Bose, Einstein, condensate, teleport your fate as electrons teleport and quarks evident the quantum state. And did the Father relent upon sacrificing his sons and daughters? The farthest Father went was to sacrifice, to realize the edifice of the law of conservation of energy. A yondu of yonder star-lords living from the end of the binding of them to the stone. Blind the womb of woman, bind the womb of woman not as a stone to another Isaac. Pay no more homage to this Moloch you call Christ. Little girl, scissors, big money. Soul is a beat poet, rock and roller. Not beaten by the bones, beat, rock rolls, 'cause paper's slashed. Beaten by the beat to break on through, never retreat, advance true. Soulless, soulful, priceless fishers of no price, big men, little dollars never show us the way. Little girls, big money, the whore version to progress sluices us today. Dull ours pose artful stillness to artless motion. Houston's Major Tom, we have a solution. Double fill your double think, double minus evil, double plus good, big brother with little girl, double fucked yourself, double plus bad, duplicitous, faith, fate, big brother on person, double plus beyond good and evil, little girl, corporation, triple plus good. Big brother with big money, little sister with little soul hides how big it is on the other side. She gonna grow to see the patriarchy go. Little soul gonna grow bigger than big money could know. Big cougar with big soul beats the ghost of big money past. Big money ain't got no soul nor body no more. Big soul ain't got no money, still got a body not bought at a store. Big money ain't got no soul, nor body no more. Big soul ain't got no money, still got a body not bought at a store. Big money ain't got no soul, nor body no more. Big soul ain't got no money, still got a body not bought at a store. I found her at the found and lost, and we got lost past this separation of worlds and never came back. All the good Christians go to heaven, all the evil pagans go to heathen heaven, all the beyond good and evils go beyond heaven or hell. All the young dudes go to church school, modern sex and ancient love. Oh, capitalism, not my captain, not my captain. Abraham Lincoln of lies, pop a capitalism in the donkey and leave the elephant in the room. Like a Manson Grove killifish, dreamed the dream before making the wish. These wishes granted, many of the dreams transformed. Hermaphroditic self-insemination with the spirit of Antichrist superstar, black hole, sex impregnation, selfing and outcrossing, pseudocopulating, male neonate, the will to power, an Ubermensch fate, the virgin copulation of bleb, the bloody Virgin Mary of the Antichrist superstar. For as I am a mirror of Christ, so disciples do I have. I have chosen her to be my superstar. For she died for me, and I died so that they could understand. Within the super scar black hole is the bottomless pit. Within the bottomless pit is the shorn bighorn. Termites are in the holy wood. I want to understand, since you're dead, Mr. Superstar. I'll kill myself for you since you're already dead. Since I can't have you, he still lives inside their mouths. Tells us what to say, dreamed a lie of how you were killed anyway. I want to know how you really died. You wished you were dead. When your wishes are granted, your dreams will be dead. You wished you were dead. Will you kill your TV on TV? Little girls capture tyrants, playful as kittens of cougars, teeny fappers, capers, roped and shamed, the economic kings and queens, laid, bald, and chained. Little girls, scissoring big money, reaped the reaper, statutory apes, never-ending hoary. Witches hunt and capture the witch hunt of a newer Salem. Patriarchs puerile, patricided, crone as decided, little girls on flying monkeys. Transformed to cougars of courage, will not drink this plastic porridge, will not kiss the sleeping economic prince, sleeping ugly, is awakened beauty, humiliated now. The man who sold the world is playing with the little girls, bought the universe from selling the world. Do as I say, not as I do, won't do as you say, will say what you do. The rock bottom, intuition where lies lie. Do as I say, not as I do, won't do as you say, will say what you do. The rock bottom, intuition where lies lie, lying corpses decaying to skeletons of deceit. What will you do? Let me say. I'll live inside your lies, die inside your mouth, rip outside from what you do, murder on the mental metal of metal. Die inside your lies, run out of words to say. I say what you do. Never sprint out of words to say from what you do. It's a meaner street leads to kinder field. Modern fear of obedience gets me to work on time. Modern hate burns the church down, especially its closets. Ancient fear of unknown gets me out of society on time. Ghost of Lovecraft crafts to make the unknown come and stay. Ancient sex gets me to the incest brothel on time. Humanity, more of a pest. I'll give you the best decide between all the sides of cider, like the ides of ideas. I am the Socrates to give the culture body the unlock of death that's hemlock. I am the Kaiser to stab at 27 theses, a hemi with a locksmith, exile in reverse, justice of Socrates to knock socks off. Courage of a Caesar, Kaiser of liberty, Kaiserian, the culture body, then give it embalmment socks of gadfly. 27 stabs to the back of fascism, make sure it suffers and itself made endless death. The diamonds of Socrates and Kaiser fight the demons who call themselves angels, the angles of the mangles, bacteria culture of a body like waste of bacteria. We read the people in plastic back. The labor force always reads the hardback, the soft cover of our weak lies, footnotes that break a leg.